All right, so let's get into this next one. Robert De Niro is defending himself in a discrimination trial brought against him by a former assistant. She claims she suffered severe emotional distress and reputational harm working with him. De Niro admitted on the stand that he berated her, called her snippy and a brat, but suggesting it's anything else is nonsense. So, Roy, are you in agreement with these types of tactics? Are they justified?
Sometimes people need to be cussed out. Let's just be honest. You know, the issue with this trial specifically, though, is that we don't know what this assistant did or did not do, what the stakes were, what Robert De Niro had been going through that day. Sometimes you catch somebody on a bad day and I call you a cuss word, my bad.
Yeah.
What I think the issue is that if you are a person who likes to cuss people out, tell them that when you hire them.
Like a heads up.
Yeah, by the way,
Then it's not harassment. I told you before I hired you that I'm gonna be cussing you out from time to time.
Okay.
But deep down, I still like you. I think you're a decent person.
Okay. So you know going in.
Yeah, I just, I'm not gonna sit here and say that, oh, people are weak and people need to toughen up. You have a right to dictate how someone treats you. And if you feel that someone isn't treating you the way you deserve to be treated, then speak up for yourself. But I just...
Yeah. I guess it's that line.
I just don't think we have enough information here to just go it was harassment.
Yeah, we don't have enough information, but she did work for him for 11 years. And why I say that that's important is, by year 10, maybe you figured out what kind of boss he is, you know? And there's definitely a power differential here, and I don't want to downplay that, right? So I'm not saying she deserves any of it, but having a tough boss and then having someone who is verbally abusive, that line, it's not always so clear. Like, maybe it's clearer to some people, but, I've seen tough bosses, but they're fair and they push hard. Robert De Niro is one of the biggest Hollywood actors out there. He needs an assistant who's going to, keep up with him. He's got a crazy schedule. Everybody needs him and wants him. I imagine he might... if any of his characters are any indication of the kind of person he is, I mean, I've seen, he's a mob boss.
Yeah.
Probably the kind of management style that he has, but what that line is in terms of when and how it crosses over into abuse, I guess that's for the courts to decide.
But it is interesting that he and his film producing business, they were the ones who launched the lawsuit against her to begin with, back in April 2019, when she abruptly quit. And they charged her with essentially embezzlement. She was using the company's funds, Robert De Niro's well-earned money, to take taxis and Ubers, buy tens of thousands of dollars worth of takeout food and fancy restaurant food, use his air miles to fly to places.
You know what? I could justify that.
She spent $1,300 of his money to buy herself a flower arrangement for her birthday.
Right? So she's lucky.
Can you imagine
No.
if I did that here? I have a Captain's in the Kitchen credit card that I get to buy butter with. If they saw that charge, $1,300, I don't think they would call. No, they would call me a brat. Yeah. And they should have called me a brat.
Or they call you worse than a brat. They would call you worse
than a brat.
You know what? This story didn't surprise me because I was an entertainment reporter before, and I have seen some A-list celebrities who legal told me I cannot name, who I have caught yelling at their assistants to the point where everybody's just in silence, and you're just so shocked by it. So I wasn't shocked by this story, but I think you made a really good point. When you're a personal assistant, it's not like another job. Like here, there's HR. There's different levels of command. When you are a personal assistant, I'm in your house. I am with your family. I'm walking your dog. I'm picking up your underwear.
Yeah.
I'm doing everything. I know what prescriptions you're on. It's very intimate. So I can see where the lines get super crossed. And then with these types of jobs, people usually take these PA jobs so that they can lead to something better. And you figure if you're working with De Niro on your resume, you get to go to wherever. This woman now has a very good job, right? So she probably felt like she had to take a lot of that garbage and probably push the envelope, as you mentioned.
Like she did a lot more than take garbage.
Right?
She was taking air miles. She was taking food.
She was taking a lot of stuff, but it was all she did that so that she could elevate her career. So I think it's a little bit, you're right, it's a little bit complicated there with that situation. What he said. Yeah. What he said.
Hey there, what did you think? Drop your comments below and join the conversation. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you can find more on everything from food and fashion to pop culture and current events. See you soon.